Hello guys, today we're going to be doing a tutorial on modeling a character head in Maya. Um, so we're going to start by drawing this shape. I actually created this shape with a create polygon tool, so we're going to be using this as a reference. So let's start by picking the create polygon tool. So I'll start by creating a point right here, then right here. Yeah, we're gonna have 2 points. So okay, so there we have it. But altogether we're supposed to have 33 points on vertices on this polygon. So let's count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26. Yeah, it's complete. So we have 33 vertices on this polygon. So right now, this is actually a very fast way to model a head. You know, everybody has their own method, but I've been using this method and I find it quite nice with great topology. So I just create a sphere for the eyeball right there. I'll move it back a little bit, add it to a layer, the reference layer. Okay, let me just create a new layer with it. So I'll make it a reference, so we don't move it around and stuff. Okay, still need to move it, position it in the front view. So let's move it to the side a little bit, where the eye is supposed to be. Okay, so from there I move to my perspective view. Actually need to hide this one. Okay, so I'll select the newly created polygon. I'll select the newly created polygon, and I'll just right click and select edge. I'll double click on one edge, select everything. So now we're going to extrude it out a little bit. So to extrude that, you can just click your extrude, but actually I like to hold my shift key and right click, then pops up. I just click the extrude button and bring it out a little bit. So here we have it. So now that we now have it extruded, we can delete the inner face like this one. We don't need it anymore. So with this we can start our modeling. The first thing we want to do is the eye. We want to model the eye. I want it to wrap around the eyeball to give it great topology, so when we want to start animating, don't have issues. Right now I move to my edge, select these 2 edges, that's the ones that make the eye. I'll extrude them out. Scale it down a little bit. So this time I need to move to my front view. Okay. So I'll move this down. At this point I need to rotate it to this, like rotate it like this, then bring it down just a little bit. So now we need an edge loop here. Yeah, like right here. So I'll go to my custom tab. I actually created this custom tab by adding all my favorite tools into it. So I click this, I just create my edge loop. So now I have this edge, I can position my vertices properly now. So I'll select my edge and I'll start moving out. Sorry about that. To make this a reference. Okay. So I'm gonna be doing these. I'm gonna extrude it 1, 2, 3, 4 times to form the eye. I'm actually using hotkeys for my transform, so I don't have to be coming here every time. So the select is Q. For the move transform we use W. For rotate we use E, and for scale we use R. So don't forget that. And also to repeat every new tool I did, like new extrusion, I just have to press G. So it brings back my last used command. Like I used the extrude tool to extrude. So now I have it back. The extrude tool is back there. So I can extrude again. So this time I rotate on this side. I bring it down. Bring it out. So I press G again to rotate, to extrude rather. Sorry about that. So I bring down my extrusion. I rotate. So this time it has to be straight because it's gonna be forming the middle of the eye. Okay, so I bring it out a little bit. Okay, like this. So at this point we have the top of the eye. So we need to press G again. G is to repeat the last command, like I said. So I press G again. I extrude. So I just go back and position the eye. I'll keep doing this till I go round. So you need to actually take note of the amount of extrusion we have on the eye. It matters a lot in this method of modeling the human head. So I extrude again. So I rotate. So and one more time I extrude again by pressing G, so I don't have to keep doing this going back to. So now I just move this up a little bit, move it up. So I move this up, then I extrude one more time, pressing G. So we want to attach these vertices to this vertex, to this vertex, and this vertex to this vertex. To do that, we need to scale this down a little bit, then bring it up. So to do that, you can actually use the edge merge. You can merge the two edges together, but I like using my vertex. It actually gives me this sense of control, like I know what I'm doing. So so I just position my vertex. We've noticed we've been working in the front view for quite a while now, which is not good enough. We need to move around different views to get them positioned properly. So now we're gonna move to our left view and position the eye, and lastly to our perspective view to make it wrap around the eyeball. So now we're done with the front view. I press space bar to move to my. Okay, so now we see the eye is actually far in front, but if you look at references, I'll look at your eye properly, you see that all these vertices, this shape is actually supposed to go in like this and meet the eye. Select this ones. Okay, so let me deselect this one I selected. Let's okay, so just move this back as well as this one's. Okay, so we're having a very good high at this point. Sorry, I still need to make this a reference so we don't have to select it anymore. Okay, so just sorry about that. So now we can't select it anymore. And one more thing I need to do is switch on the wireframe unshaded, so we can actually see what we are doing even if it's not selected. So now I select this vertex, I bring it out. Select this vertex, I bring it out just a little bit. Select this, bring it out. Select it, bring it out. And one thing we can do is to actually position the vertices like easily. I'm going to switch to my edge mode and select one edge and select the last edge I want to move. So right now I can just move them back like this. So now we actually controlled everything at once, so now we can just do little adjustments to the shape of the eye. So this vertex needs to move in a little bit. So now we are actually setting a good foundation for the glabella. That's like the top of the eye. So we can move this back, so we can actually have that move like this. The glabella cover the top of the eye properly. So now that we are done with the eye, we are not actually done with the eye, but we've taken it to a point that's actually good enough. So now we just go down and work on the mouth. So now we start working on the mouth. So to start working on the mouth, we need to select this face, the inner face here, and we need to delete it. Okay, but let's get that out of the way first. Then delete this as well, the one on the neck. We don't need that face as well. So now we need to move to our edge mode and select these two vertices, like this and this. Yeah, the two vertices, like the top of the lip and the lip itself. So now what we need to do is extrude this twice. We're going to extrude it twice. So I just hold my shift key since we already used the merge vertex tool. So when pressing G now, we won't be able to go back to our extrude. So we need to hold shift and right click. Then you can see your extrude. You can just move around. So select your extrude. But I like to switch this button. It gives me this straight. So I just extrude it once. I press G again. I extrude the second time. So with this, I can actually position my lip. So I'll go to my front view. I'll scale it down. Scale it down. Okay, so I'll move this down. I'll go to my left view. I'll bring it back a little bit. Go back to my front view. Sorry about that. So I don't need this tab actually in my way. So I just bring this back a little bit, then scale it down. So let me work in my perspective view. Much more comfortable in my perspective view. So I just rotate this. Look at the way I'm rotating it. Actually looks weird at first, but by the time you bring it down and go look at it in your front view, bring it down, rotate it properly. Okay, so you bring it down, then you adjust the vertices like so. Okay, so this is what we have now. Now if I go back to my perspective view and move to my edge mode and press G again to extrude, so now I extrude down. You see the logic now. Then by the time I rotate it this way and bring it up. So I scale it up like this size. So now I can go to my perspective view and move the vertices to position it properly. Want it to be the same level with this. So now I press G one more time and extrude it out. So now we have our lip, and all we need to do is rotate this way, bring it forward, bring it out a little bit. So now I can actually target weld my vertices together. So this will go to this, this will go to this, and this will go to this. So at this point you can see we're having the shape of the mouth, and all we need to do is just move this vertex forward a little bit, move this down, so you can actually see this properly in our left view. You can see so just do proper necessary adjustments to the model to make it look appealing. So looking at it from the perspective view now, you can see we've actually gotten somewhere with the model. Now the mouth is looking not so proud of it at this point, but it's actually, we're getting somewhere. So now the next thing we need to do is work on the nose. We need to work on the nose. So now we need to select these three vertices, these three edges. Select this, and this. I just press shift, I hold shift and right click to extrude. So this, I'll just move my, okay. So now by looking at this, you know where this points. This has to we need to attach this vertex to this vertex. So I just click on my merge vertex tool. Just love that too, I don't know why. So now this, I can merge this to this as well. So now we're having the shape of the nose. Need to shape it properly to give it that. Okay, so need to bring this down, move it back, bring this forward. So we need to bring this forward like this. So with that, we need to keep shaping it just to, you know, make it look like what it's supposed to look like. Like that's the nose. So bring this out a little more. Okay. To bring this in. So now we're actually having bringing out the shape bit by bit. So now we need to keep working on the eye at this point. The next thing we need to do is switch to our edge mode, select this particular edge, and select the last one right here. So what we need to do is extrude. We need to extrude it, but this time we need to extrude it this way so I can bring it out. So I'm going to attach, merge this to this, come in here and merge this to this. Okay, let me just do that again in case you didn't see it. So after we merge this to this, because this one is actually in here, so it's blocking what we need to see here. Let me just select this vertex. You need to merge it to this point here. So that was why I need to take it back, because I noticed you didn't see that. You might not have seen that. So this vertex now, if you leave it here, it's just cause problem for us, because it's going to result into a triangle, and triangles are not good enough for us because we're going to actually animate this model later on. So you need to select this vertex and merge it to this. So now we're having quads around. I love quads. I don't know about you, just make me feel good. Okay, so I bring this back. Bring it back, like just bring it back. So this is the globella one I mentioned earlier. It's like it actually defines the eye a lot. Okay, so at this point we need to just keep working on the eye and the forehead. So now that I need to drag this back, drag him back a little more, so looks like this, looks something like this. So we need to bring it in the front view. So yeah, something like this. Yep. So now it's looking better. Okay, I think I need to move it forward a little bit. So just keep shaping, refining your shape till you're satisfied with it. So these three vertex, these three edges, 1, 2, 3, we're going to extrude it up to form the forehead. So I'll select this, I'll select this, I'll select this. You can see that. So I'll just hold shift, right click, extrude up, bring this forward, bring it back rather. So you can see there is a mistake here. This vertex is actually going backward. We need to bring it forward. Yeah, this one needs to come forward. Yeah, there's always something to fix. I don't know why. Okay, so now we need to merge this vertex to this vertex. Okay, so I don't know what that's. Okay, this. So now at this point, we just need to shape. We shape our face by moving the vertices around. So I'll do this. So this, instead of just moving it up, we're going to move it back and bring it down to form something like this. Yeah. Okay, so we need to bring it out a little bit. So now that we have this, So now that we have this, we need to work on the cheek, like this area. So we select the edges on this side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just extrude them out. So this tutorial is just about extrusion, attaching vertices. That's basically what we're going to be doing. We'll be doing more of that in this tutorial. So after that, I just refine my vertices again. So I'm sure you know where the vertices are going at this point. So just pretty much shaping the face like now. So I'm going to attach this to this. So I'm going to attach this to this, and that the one below to the nearest vertex. So now we have a simple cheek. It's not yet complete. So I'll just bring this up a little bit to line it up. Okay. Okay. So and now the next thing is we need to select these 3 vertices, these 3 edges. I mean rather 4 rather. So this and this to this point. So just switch to our edge mode, select this and this, as you can see. So I just extrude them down. You don't want to move them too much, so you don't go past where you can see where to merge them. So I just switch to my merge vertex tool. That's tricky. Okay, so join that to this, so this to this. Just that. We are not going to merge any other verse for now on that point. So we need to shape this place. Bring this down. Bring this down. Bring this down like this. We actually gonna make it straight. Yeah, make them level together like that. Put them on the same level. So you can see our face is getting somewhere now. Just need to keep working on it, refining it. So at this point, we need to add more soft, we need to cover the face more, like add more more faces to this model, because all these places are empty. So what we need to do is switch to our edge mode and do some extrusions, like this part, this tree. Do some extrusions right here, these 3 edges. So I'm going to extrude them by holding shift, and I said that several times. Okay, so no, I don't want to do it this way. Let's not do it that way. Okay, so but because I actually pressed undo, let me just press it one more time. Okay, so now I can actually get rid of them. Okay, so I'm going to select these 2 edges. I want them to line up properly with this one, because if we go the other way around, it's going to cause trouble with our quads. So let's just keep creating our clean mesh like we've been doing. So I switch to my merge vertex tool. No vertex here, don't mind me. Okay. Okay, so at this point, after I've merged the two vertices together, I'm going to move this back just a little bit. So just get it out of the way. Okay, so we do that one more time. Use our edge and we extrude. So I'll merge this to this. Need to bring this back. Just shape it so we don't keep losing our shape. Like this face is getting fatter. Okay, so and we'll do that one more time to fill this part up. So I'll just go select this. Let's just bring this out. So I just merge that together. Actually, I didn't use the merge vertex tool there. Just wanted to do it faster. Okay, so let's bring this in. We're still going to shape the face. So let's just keep getting the volume right. So now if I press 3, actually having a for the smooth preview. Okay, so next we need to cover the bottom of the face, and to do that all we need to do is attach these faces together. So I'm going to use my bridge. I'll bridge this to this. No, we shouldn't do it that way. So I'm going to extrude these faces like this. So I'll scale it in. As you can see, we're actually gonna have enough so we can actually attach them together easily. So now I can just move to my merge vertex tool. Now with this with the remaining vertices we can just shape them like this. Right now, so now we have this to this. We can move this forward, this to this, this to this. Need to attach these faces, so I'll use my select border and is it append faces, append border, append edges, I don't know. So in 3D Max we call it bridge tools anyway, so I'm much more comfortable in 3D X Max. So we just keep attaching or merging these edges together. So just go to my edge. Okay, and lastly do the down. Yeah. At this point you can see we're almost done with the face. So now we need to work on the should I call it the scalp? I think call it scalp. So go to your front view. You can see this guy is looking super awkward at this point, but you can still shape that later on. And that's the problem when you don't work with a reference. Although we worked with a side reference, but we needed a front reference. But for this tutorial, you can get away with that. But for more complex models, you need to use a reference. References make your work a lot easier. Okay, so we need to do this extrusion one more time. I'll switch to my edge mode, select the last one and double click on the last edge that I want. So just selects everything from me. Now I can extrude by holding shift, right click, just switch on that button to bring it back up. So I'll scale this down, go to my back view. I'll just rotate to my back. Now need to merge this edge, edge to this edge. Just switch to my vertex and do that. So we need to bring this back. It's actually covering the back already, and we still have a long way to go. Bring this back like this. So now what we need to do is we need to select this, and this. and we need to extrude this out, just this. Scale it down, and what we're going to do, we're going to cheat a little bit here. Don't forget, we didn't select it from the top, we just selected this 1 2 3 4, the edges. And now what we want to do is we're going to move the vertex this way. So now we're going to be creating room for the back, like so we can merge the back of the head to this vertices. Okay, now see, this is what we have. So this we can merge this to this by using our pen tool. Okay, so now we have that covered. We go for the next one, which is this. We cover that up. I press G once again. Cover that. Press G again to repeat the last command. And lastly, press G. 4. So now we pretty much cover the back of the head. But what we need to do is this place is looking quite sharp. So just switch to vertex mode. Move them. By holding the middle mouse button, you can actually move them on all the axes at once, or you can just move them on one axis. So if you notice, if you're not careful here, we're gonna fall into a problem of modeling. So the best thing to do is get this part out of the way. That's so I'm going to use this append, select border edges to append faces to whatever it is, man. Just don't like that, so I can't pronounce the name easily. So now we have this. I'll get it out of the way. So we need to create space for the hair. So I'll bring this in. You know that part of your face that just like that. Well, depends on different people though. Some people's are not that defined. So now we need to bring this part down to cover the neck. We need to bring it back down like this. So I'll select this, this, and this. I missed one in the middle. Okay, so now we need to extrude down. So I'll bring this down. We need to scale it. Okay, so sorry about that. So I just merge this to this. Merge this to this. Bring this down. Bring this down. You just need to position them properly, like we've been doing. So this and this, we need to move in. Make sure you're not selecting other vertices, other back-facing vertices. So we need to do that one more time. 1 2 and 3. So I'll bring this down. Move it up a little bit. I press G so we don't keep going back and forth. Now press G for the last time. Sorry about that. Okay, so now we don't have to extrude anything anymore. All we have to do is merge these edges of vertices together. Okay, so I select these two vertices. I'll switch to my merge vertex tool and merge them together. I'll do the same for this part, merge them together, and lastly I'll merge this together. So right now what we have to do is move to our append to just join this to this. So right now we need one more edge here. I'll just use my crazy edge loop to just square that. Then I just append this together and press G one more time to do for the last time. So right now we're having a very clean mesh. One side of our head is actually done. So all we have to do is just mirror it to the other side, but you don't want to do that if you've not modeled the hair on this side. We're actually going to be modeling the hair in our next tutorial, not this tutorial. So let's just go around, shape the neck a little bit, and if you look at the back of the head, it's actually looking too funny. So we just need to shape it out, bring out so it doesn't look too straight like. So just keep moving this till our quads look almost the same size. Just bring this in, bring this in. If you look at the back, you can see how awkward that's looking. So we need to come in, bring this out, bring this out. So actually this method of modeling is not software specific, so you don't have to say, oh, because it's more we use Maya for this demonstration, we can't do that the same thing in 3ds Max. We can actually do that. You just need to like follow the processes. So in 3D Max, if I wanted to model this, I'll just start off with a line. I'll draw a line, and that'll be it. Just shape this out. Okay, so this is what our model looks like now. So we can come to the eye, select the edges, just double click. So we need to extrude this part in. So now basically what we're doing is just the cleanups for the basic shape of the. So press that one more time, you dip it in, then scale it up. Sorry about that. So now let's just look at our model by pressing 3. So you can see some parts of the model are going into the eyeball itself. So just bring that out, because you want to know what your model look like when it's smooth. So this part, I'll just bring it out just a little bit. So lastly, we need to work on, okay, not even lastly, we need to work on the nose first. So for the nose, I'll just switch to my face, and what I'll do is I'll just extrude. So I need to scale it in and press G one more time and extrude it up. And this time I scale it in. So right now we need to work on this part. So I press G, scale this in, I bring this out. So by the time we look at the model now, it's looking quite good. So we have the eye, but if you notice something about the mouth, it's weird. Switch back to my so we need to fix this part by merging this vertex. Sorry about that. So merge this to this as well. What we have to do to this part is we can actually decide to cover it up, but most of the time we just leave it because we're still gonna have to put our teeth and the tongue later on. So just push this back, and this part, make sure you don't move it on other axis. So when we want to weld it together, so just move it only on this axis, move it back. So that's all for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we'll be working on the hair. Then after we work on the hair, we can mirror it to the other side, so we have a complete head. Then we move down, work on the body. After the body, work on the leg. Then so this character is just a complete character. So this is actually half of what we have to do, but for this purpose of this tutorial, I'm gonna have to mirror it. So I go to mesh, mirror geometry, click on the settings button. So I'm going to switch to my x minus. Is it x minus? Okay, so I just, sorry, it has to be x minus. So now we mirrored it, and so this is what it looks like when mirrored. So I'm going to delete that because I don't want that, so I'll close. Now I'm going to save this project. I'm going to save it as head suits 1. So thanks guys for watching this. So if you think this tutorial is actually helpful, don't forget to comment and subscribe, and drop interactive comments, so you can actually work better on this model and this series. So watch out for my next tutorial, which is modeling the hair for this character and mirroring to the other side. Then we'll walk down and model a complete a complete character and put it that way. So see you guys later. Bye.